my next step, now that the primer is all dried, is I'm going to do a base coat of Rhinox hide, which is one of the Citadel bases. I'm trying to move away from Citadel paints and just use up what I got, but out of all of the new Citadel colors, the Rhinox hide is definitely one of my favorites. So, shake it up real good. For those of you who are new to the hobby, you should never paint directly from pod. Mix up a little bit in a palette. I know a lot of people are using wet palettes. I still like to use my dry palettes. Add just a drop of water to thin it up just a little bit so it flows better. Boom. And what I'm going to do is, you'll notice I have high spots and low spots. I am going to paint over the high spots, which from now on we're going to call the land, which will also include trees, sticks, what have you. So I'm going to just base coat all of the high spots, the land, and the Rhinox hide. And one of the things I love about this Rhinox hide is it covers so thoroughly, even wetted down. I'm thinking about getting some Vallejo heavy brown. If I have anyone out there that is maybe familiar with the heavy brown as opposed to the Rhinox hide, and tell me if they like it better or not, just kind of drop me a line and let me know. Okay, we're going to let this dry for just a minute. Is it recording? Okay. All right, next step. Now that the base is all dried, and off camera I went ahead and painted my mechanized pork chop to kind of get ahead there. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the low-lying features. So I'm going to start with the cobblestones. With the cobblestones, I just grab several random greens and browns. In this case, I've got Waflesh, heavy brown, I take that back, beastly brown, and leather brown. And I'm just going to randomly grab another palette here. Yes, I know, my palettes are awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly paint the cobblestones with just a touch of each color. In this case, I'm not watering down the paints just because I'm not using that much. Okay, and then each individual stone, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint. In this step, you don't have to be the absolute steadiest painter in the world. So there, I did 3 different colors, and I just went every other color, just like that. So I'm going to put that aside just for 1 second, clean my brush, grab a little bit larger brush out. Okay, our next step is we're going to do the wood. Now, I know everyone has their own little way of doing wood. This is mine, and I love it. I am putting a drop of Master Series paint by Vallejo Mahogany Brown. It gives it kind of a red undertone that contrasts really nice against the browns on the base. And I'm just doing a quick base coat with that. Again, you don't have to be absolutely neat, because at the end we're going to go back and everything that's not stick is going to be covered. You'll see when we get there. Okay, so I've got the base color on. Now I'm going to go back to my rocks. On my rocks, I'm going to take a little bit of khaki, again, model color by Vallejo. If Vallejo wants to give me a little bit of money for using their colors and really loving them, I would not turn it down. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly dry brush, so that I'm going to put a little tiny bit of paint on my paintbrush, and then I'm going to wipe the majority of it off. And I'm just going to hit the high spots on the rocks. These will really make the rocks pop as we're painting. And you notice my rocks are still just a little bit wet, and I do that on purpose. It helps it blend, just like that. Rocks are done. Waiting for the sticks. And I'll come back to you in 1 second after the sticks dry a little bit more.